All right, boys and girls, welcome back to the drive-through. We have this poorly snipped number 1, 2, 3. I wanted to try to get the directions in here, but it says, indicate which triangles are congruent, and be sure and use the correspondence of letters correct. So, we're going to focus on number 2 here. It says that E is the midpoint of TP. So let's start with that. So, Carson, since E is the midpoint of TP, what can we deduce from that?
TE is congruent to EP.
Excellent. TE is congruent to EP. So now it asks us to indicate which triangles are congruent. So the whole key here is you have to rearrange things. And so if you're capable of doing that in your head, that's awesome. That's not something that I'm that strong at, so I'm going to redraw all 3 of these triangles so that they're orientated in the same direction. So here is T, R, E, and I need to put a dot there, a circle here, 2 dots, a little wedge, one of those, and now we have that. Now, let's go over to P, S, E. We got a dot, we got a circle, we got 2 dots, we got a wedge, we got this thing, and we got that. Alright, let's just start with the left and the right triangle, Carson. The order matters. I don't even know if you've learned this yet, but just bear with me. If I said triangle T, R, E is congruent to another triangle, if the first letter I choose here has to be congruent to angle T from the one on the left. Yes, thank you, Carson. This should be TRE. Thank you. Thank you. So what angle corresponds with angle T from the one on the right? Nope. Which angle has 1 dot on it? Angle P. I don't know what you're seeing. You see it? Now, which angle matches up with R? Very good. And so finally we have to have E. So this is called a triangle congruence statement, okay? And you can now know that side TR must be the same as side PS. Is that true in our diagram?
Yep.
Good. Okay. So now let's flip the middle one upside down. So where would the E go? It would go on top. Okay. Now it's debatable whether or not we would put the R or the S on the left or the right. Depends if you rotate it or flip it, but it doesn't exactly matter. So let's put an R there and an S there. Now, we do know that E has that, and we know this. Do you see any other double dashes in the left or the right triangle? I don't either. So since there are no double dashes in these 2 triangles, we know that the middle triangle is not congruent to the other 2. So our final answer is right here. Now, what I want you to understand is you might have done this. Triangle RET is congruent to triangle, any idea, Carson?
I would say
SEP. Now, can you follow that along in your picture? What angle is angle R congruent to? R is congruent to S. And what angle is angle E congruent to? It's congruent to the other angle E. And what angle is angle T congruent to? Angle P. So the order matters, but you don't have to do any specific order. You just got to make sure that they match up. Does that make sense? Boom!